this birth prep and pelvic floor relaxation series. In this series, I'm going to go through different movements to help you prepare for labor and birth. So there's lots and lots to take away from these videos. It's going to be 6 videos. There is no specific sequence to these movements. You can really just try them out and then stick with the ones that work best for you, the ones that you like. Maybe there are some that don't feel so great, so just leave them out. That's not a problem at all. But yes, it's a little bit of a collection of movements to help you prepare for the special time. So because there is no specific sequence, maybe you've already watched this intro. I put it at the beginning of all the videos just because I don't know where some of you are going to start. So if you've already listened to me, you already watched this intro, just skip ahead, skip to the movement part. You don't need to listen to me again. But if this is your first time, stick with me because I do have some helpful tips to give you so that you can get the most out of this series and also best prepare for that labor and birth. So a quick note on the equipment I'll be using throughout this series. I'm sometimes going to be using a yoga block or a small ball like this one, and these you can easily swap for a rolled up towel or maybe a pillow, so there's no need for you to buy these. We will also be using a Swiss ball or a stability ball. You can swap this one out for a chair or maybe sit on the couch on a softer surface. What I will say that it's not always exactly the same when we swap the stability ball out, for the simple fact that if we're moving on the ball moves with us and the chair and the couch won't. But again, it's not necessary for you to buy one. Just if you're going to invest in something, I would start here. I find that most pregnant women really love this, even just if you're working at home or relaxing, watching TV. Sometimes it's nice to just sit on it and move your pelvis around. So this is a great one to buy, but again, it's not necessary. And now just let me go over a few of the key points again to get the most out of this series. You'll want to start with these exercises around the 34th, 35th week in your pregnancy. And at this point, we really want to focus on releasing and relaxing and lengthening that pelvic floor muscle. So it's very different from what we do early in pregnancy or maybe in postpartum, where we say, lift the pelvic floor, engage the pelvic floor. We want to start to stay away from that, and we really just want to relax down there. So again, you want to start around the 34th, 35th week of pregnancy. Ideally, you would do a few of these exercises each day. I know it's not always possible, so just try to do as many as you can and as often as you can. Even a few exercises a day are great, so just pick the ones that you like. And again, we want to focus on lengthening, releasing, opening up the pelvis. This doesn't mean that we don't do any core work anymore. You can still work out, you can still do deep core workouts, but we will be focusing in those deep core workouts, we will be focusing more on engaging the transversus abdomen, whereas the pelvic floor, we want to keep it relaxed. So again, instead of saying wrap your core around and lift the pelvic floor, we don't want to lift. Just keep it relaxed. And the reason we do this is because a tense or even a hypertonic pelvic floor, which doesn't mean it's not strong, it doesn't mean weak, but it's just not tense, will make it harder for the baby to find its way through it. So the pelvic floor doesn't actually engage, it doesn't actually help us push the baby out, right? It actually has to more get out of the way to let the baby go through. So this is why we want to keep it as relaxed as possible going into these last weeks of pregnancy. And also another quick little note on weightlifting. If you're still maybe going to the gym and lifting weights, that's totally fine. You can keep doing that. But this is also a great time for you to maybe start thinking of reducing the weight you're lifting and modifying some of the exercises. And this is because when we do compound movements like maybe a squat or a deadlift, and we have some weight, we can lift some weight, which is great. But the pelvic floor cannot help but engage in those movements. So again, you can keep doing that. It's also great to keep working out. but try to maybe dial it back with the weight a little bit and focus on technique, and then do these relaxation movements on the side. So as a final note, in this series, we're really going to be focusing on releasing and relaxing that pelvic floor. We're going to be focusing on opening up the pelvis and the hips. This is going to create more space for baby to descend and then eventually come out. We're going to be doing this through different stretches, mobility, and lots of breathing work. So I know that sometimes you might be thinking, well, what exactly do I have to do? This feels weird, or I'm not doing it right. Just keep at it. This is a skill that has to be learned, and it takes practice. So just find the movements that work best for you and keep at it, keep at it. You still have quite a few weeks to prepare for birth, and I promise it will make a difference. All right, all that being said, let's get into today's movements. Okay, so here we are, ready to go through another series of movements for birth prep and pelvic floor relaxation. Today we're going to be using the stability ball. You can maybe do it on the couch if you don't have one, or sit on a chair with a pillow. Won't be exactly the same, but we'll work with what we have. So for the first exercise, we're just going to be doing simple pelvic tilt, and this time we're going to be pairing them with our breath. So we're going to do a forward and a backward pelvic tilt. And now we're going to inhale, deep inhale, 360 degrees on the core as we tilt our pelvis forward. So big inhale here, and exhale, come back. Big inhale into the pelvic floor, audible exhale. Maybe you wrap that corset muscle a little bit around your core, but there's no tension in the pelvic floor. Really focus and visualize you breathing into the pelvic floor. And as always, we're watching our posture. Shoulders are relaxed and stacked on top of the ribs. The other thing that you want to keep an eye on during these last few weeks of pregnancy, but in general, is your jaw. So the jaw muscle is connected to the pelvic floor, and sometimes when we get stressed, we maybe tense our jaw a little bit, and that has an effect on what the pelvic floor muscle does. So maybe, just give it a check, make sure if there's a lot going on, maybe you massage it a little bit, try to keep it relaxed. It's also going to be very helpful in preparing for birth. Okay. Now we're staying here, but we're going to be doing circles, and this time you don't need to pair it with the breath, just keep it nice and relaxed. And here you move as far as you can in all directions. And the other way, shoulders stay relaxed. Nice and wide circles. Alright, so this one is just great for mobilizing the pelvis, making sure we move it in all directions, and also it helps sort of release tension in that surrounding soft tissue. Okay, so for our next movement, we're going to be stretching our inner thighs a little bit and putting some unilateral movement into the pelvis. So you're going to shift one side and extend the leg out. And here, you'll notice if you move your upper body forward a little bit, tilt, or move your pelvis slightly backwards, you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch here. We can take a deep breath in here, and then move to the other side. Again, push your hips back slightly, back and spine staying in neutral position. This movement also helps lengthen one side of the pelvic floor at a time. So again, you can think about breathing into the pelvic floor. And let's do one more on this side. Great, then come back to neutral. So for our last exercise, we're going to be doing supported squats. You can use the ball and place it like behind your back like this, and again against the wall. Or you can also take a chair and forget the wall, forget the ball, and just hold yourself onto the chair. So from here, you're gonna get to a nice squat stand. Even here, it may vary depending on how far you are and how your pelvis is doing, so just adapt to whatever feels good for you. And here, we're gonna work with our breath. So on the inhale, we also descend into the squat, and exhale, come back up. And inhale, deep squat, exhale, come back up, pelvic floor stays relaxed. Did great, just a few more. Few more. And all right, well done. Keep practicing these movements, find the ones that work best for you, and well done. I'll see you in the next one.